You know, it's very sad what's happening in South Africa. I think the saddest thing at times is how does government, government in its own gets blamed.
Right.
But it is the deployees. How do you send money back? Let's start there.
Back to the fiscus.
Yes, back to the fiscus.
Yeah.
Then when you don't use the money, national government get blamed. Treasury gets blamed. The government gets blamed for that this government is not performing. But the people like us that gets the money and can't spend the money, how do you? It's criminal to receive money. If you are, let's say, Minister of Health and you send money back, and then people don't have ambulances. If I'm the Minister of Sport, I'm telling you, they don't know what they did by making Minister of Sport. There will be nothing to send back. There will be 2 cents left.
But what are you going to do with the money so
School
that there
sports.
is that?
White people are born with a rugby ball. Most of them. And they cultivate that until they get a lot of people being professional.
Right.
Black people, somewhere, somehow, we get lost in the system. And the engine room of sport is in schools. The engine room that gives birth to sports stars is in schools. Now, when you look at the advantage schools that's got all this money and where most of our children go to.
The private schools.
The private schools.
Yeah.
They have what you call, the engine room is alive. My job as a sports minister is to make sure that arts, culture, and sport get recognition in schools. Because a child in sport is a child out of court. That's my saying for this term of mine.
Right.
So I'm saying to you that money is going to go to where it, usually I was looking at people traveling all the time and going overseas. You see the entourages that used to go overseas, that time is over. I went overseas. Now I went to Paris. People are shocked that I'm back. They're like, I'm fit. What are you doing here? The Olympics are on. I'm like, I've got work to do.
Yes.
I went there. I only managed to watch 2 games. 2
events.
Yeah. 2 events. I managed to watch the hockey. I managed to watch the 3 events. The sevens, I managed to watch the gymnast, Gayton.
Yes.
And I came back. I wanted to watch swimming. Everybody says the medals are going to start rolling in with swimming. But I understood that it doesn't make me better. It's not a great thing I did by coming back to work. It should become the norm that we should spend money on the athletes, on the sport, on culture. And people that says no sport gets all the attention, that's actually not true. If you look at the 6 billion we get, the majority of that money goes to arts and culture. And that was the biggest shock for me, a nerve when you say that. And I'll tell you why. Because that's the message I got when I became the minister.
And that's a correct message.
And I went there. Yeah, I can tell you it's a semi-correct message.
Yeah?
It's a semi-correct message. I went there and I asked, what happened to the money? Why don't you give the artists money? They plead in poverty. They can't pay medical aid. They can't pay for their own funerals. They didn't make provision. They can't pay for funeral cover. And I was told this story and this story. I said, no, let's do this. Let's start showing, because you say you gave this one money, you gave that one money. I said, let's show the public. And that's what we are doing now. And people are complaining and we haven't even started yet. From COVID days, we are bringing out who got money. The problem and the truth that we must also tell here today, there was corruption in that department.
In the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture? At what level was it?
At all levels.
From the minister?
I wouldn't say the minister because there's no case.
Department.
Pardon, I mean like in the admin.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say previous ministers didn't do something wrong or that I'm not going to say because I wasn't there. It must still be investigated. If anybody has any evidence that the previous ministers did wrong, they must come forward.
Can I push you?